no strangers to close finishes at all. So I'm expecting something good here. We are going to get it underway, well, right now. And, well, we got actually a decent start screen over in the forest. So this will at least give them access to relatively close positioning to 3 of our Armo statues, as well as quite a few open caves. And we already have a divergence in routing.
Yeah, this is me. I 100% like what Fred's doing here, as much as I've been cheering for Rick because of the banana comment. Fred going up here towards the desert area gives him, as you said, access to a bunch of the Armos items. And this appears to be level 8. Nope, never mind.
No, level 8 is probably it, because we have the transport staircase, we have 3 rooms along the bottom with the room up in the middle, so yeah, this is level 8.
No, it couldn't be level 8 because the transport staircase we were just in had a locked door above it.
Okay, so we just weren't over as far as I thought. That was level 7.
Yep. So Rick gonna go ahead and immediately pick up a candle there. Always nice to have something to continue our exploration early, and getting that early candle is just going to help him here.
Yeah, not only does he have the candle, but he does have a few bombs as well, so he will have a bunch of additional exploration. As Fred is checking some of these Arma statues, we do get a free item from the Arma statue, so it's definitely something that is good to look for, especially if it's something like the white sword or the wand for even better early combat than just a regular sword.
Yeah, absolutely. And Rick also going to be finding a level here. And the thing to look out for here is, well, the overworld's changed a little bit since our Swiss rounds, right?
Yeah, we're actually doing second quest overworld on these flags, so you'll see a lot more importance between the power bracelet and the recorder, because there's a bunch more spots that they open up, as well as 2 additional ladder required spots as well. So definitely changes your routing mentality, and also determines how much you try to dig dungeons maybe for that power bracelet or the recorder.
We found a level 9 location there on Fred's side, and Rick has found another level, but did you happen to notice what Rick found out in that level he was in previous to this?
I did not.
1 bomb did not kill our orange wizard friends.
So they rolled up a little bit. Now they can have up to plus 4 HP, so that's very likely that that happens. Luckily, they're not as obnoxious as blue wizards rolling up. Nothing's as obnoxious as blue wizards rolling up.
Yes, I will say that manhandles rolling up are on par with blue wizard levels of obnoxiousness.
I would say manhandlers rolling up are on par with TGE levels of obnoxiousness.
That's also true, and good man, Fred, we found our free Armo side. Oh, you jerk.
He was just taking a detour.
Well, he couldn't burn it like he said he was going to because he didn't have any candle. Let's see if Rick does it when he finds it.
In all seriousness, so that's actually a good pickup for Fred, because that's his only method of getting around and actually even stunning enemies. And we see Armos actually go down to the boomerang, so they do have a weakness.
Yep, and Fred gonna slip right on by those blue danger noodles there and pick up his first Triforce of the match. Hopefully he's nice and hits the pause button so we can tell which one it is.
I'm sure he's probably going to check himself.
Yep.
Yeah, and that was definitely level 3.
It was. Level 3 is a nice, easy dungeon to navigate here. He knows he doesn't have to necessarily kill too much in the way of enemies. He's just looking for the staircase here. And as you mentioned, even all the lampooning we do about the blue boomerang, especially when you find it as early as Fred did, definitely where you want to be. And oh, hey, look, we've got ourselves a staircase and a sword and a bow and all of the wooden items.
So I just don't know what to make of what just happened. So Fred's going to get his sword soon, but he's not. And Rick is in the other section where level 3 now looks like the part in the forest too. So never mind, it is going to be a little bit before Fred gets his sword. But he did get hit by red bubble, so he won't actually get his sword when he picks it up until he gets some sort of cure to that, because, well, TG, red bubbles take away your sword. How do you get it back?
Well, you can get it back by picking up a Triforce piece, guzzling a potion, going to a fairy fountain, completely resetting the game, and, oh yeah, getting hit by a blue bubble.
So Fred is heading over towards the coast. We're going to see what the coast item is. The blue moblins here going down to the single boomerang smack is actually really nice because they are bomb droppers. So it does give Fred the capability of at least picking up some bombs. And Rick is currently beeping for us because,
Because it's Rick? I mean, that's the only answer you need, right?
I was just going to say extra sound effects. And wow, that coast item.
I did not happen to catch it. I was watching Rick dance with Armos.
We got a red ring over there.
Ooh, that's nice. Little jewelry action. Always nice when you can get a little jewelry going on.
I just want to know what person was scorned enough at their significant other to throw the ring out into the water.
Well, I mean, I can't say anything about it myself. I've never been through it, but I would imagine messy breakups would involve that. Although if it's me and I get a ring worth a bunch of money, I ain't throwing it on anything. I'm going to a pawn shop and getting the cash.
Well, that's what the people do with the blue rings, apparently.
Yes, look at how pricey they are.
So Fred debated for half a second whether he wanted a candle or a heart from that gift shop. He did take the candle, so he's going to be able to burn some stuff, and we'll take the same route that Rick did not too long ago, as Rick finds level 7.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if Rick decides to take a look around here a little bit more than Fred did because he has access to the sword, or if Rick's going to adhere to his rule of 6, where he just takes a look around 3, 4, 5, 6 rooms in and says, nope, I'm good, thank you, bye-bye.
Isn't it just the rule of 7? Hey, this is level 7, let's get out of here.
No, we call that the Redbird rule.
So Fred, heading over in the general direction of the sword. My guess is with where the sword is located, he will take a trip up to the fairy fountain to at least gather the ability to use it. Now, it's Fred, so all bets are off, but we'll see. Rick is going to dig a little bit in here, though.
Yeah, it's interesting that he's choosing to do this, especially considering he is lacking in, well, key resources.
Well, he did find a bomb wall over a little bit. Don't know if it's going to amount to much.
Well, he did end up finding a key, so if he decides he wants to continue on, he can. But now he's got the little process of, well, I don't have any more bombs to play with. Also, I'm pretty sure the Octoroks in both seeds are the happiest people in the Hyrule right now. Their hearing aids are broken, so they don't have to listen to us banter back and forth.
I bet chat is wishing for the same thing.
I mean,
and that bat is just going to continue to control Rick. Oh, there it goes. And the Triforce. Now, something interesting, TGE, is with the layout and how far Rick is over in his map, that may have been 5.
It may have been. We'll have to take a look and see next time he pauses the screen.
And Fred finds another level here.
Well, it is a green level. That's about what we can tell you.
Well, someone let TG have the decoration.
It's not banana wallpaper.
Thank goodness we didn't create that.
I was asking for it.
So Fred does go ahead and buy arrows. I like this purchase considering he didn't get over to the sword before he uppaid. So it does give him an option to at least damage enemies having the bow already.
It's true. I mean, you don't necessarily have to go swordless, but, you know, being hit by the red bubble, I mean, it's not the worst thing that's happened.
No, letting us call this racist the worst thing that's happened.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong on that one. Although from what I saw, that green level that Fred was in, the 4 snippets of the map that he had looked like level 4, but I don't want to guarantee anything.
Yeah, it's definitely a good guess there. Rick is up in the northeast, so he's going to come across level 9 relatively soon as well. So both of our runners will have that knowledge. Not a horrible place for it to be, considering their start screen, but it's still always obnoxious to see it up there. And Fred getting all sorts of luck with bombs.
Yeah, that's one thing you're always happy to see is when you get an early almost item and it is either one of the boomerangs to use it, and oh my word, things that drop bombs, in this case both blue Octoroks and blue Moblins, are going down to it. You are always, you're giving a giant fist bump, you know, you're doing the Tiger Woods celebration, you're just like, heck yeah, baby.
Yeah, and I bet for that reason Fred is actually really happy that he was able to, that he did decide to pick up the blue boomerang, because that opened up a lot of ability for him to explore without having to backtrack later, having all those bombs available to him.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Having to backtrack later is the absolute worst time sink here in this. And Rick gonna go ahead and he burns the blue nana and then gets clipped into it from the Octorok.
And we see what happens. So that guarantees us in this race we will not see either runner have the regular banana.
You know, I'm okay with it just because of the blue Octorok trolling Rick there. I am down with that.
And Rick is in level 3. So he will find his bows pretty soon as well. As well as already up to 6 hearts, so whenever he comes across that white sword item, he will also have the ability to pick that up without even worrying.
Alright, now that I've recovered from my abnormal fit of the giggles here, we're going to continue on with Fred finding one of the hint shops.
I wouldn't call any fit of giggles with you abnormal. But, yeah, Rick is trying to clip around these Landmola, because I'm not going to entertain the other name given to them. But, yeah, they are definitely living up to that name, because they rolled up in HP.
Yes, no, that name that you're not entertaining only goes to the blue ones.
Well, these red ones are definitely up there.
They're just obnoxious pains in the butt right now. They're like, haha, we see you hiding, you're not gonna get us, you're not gonna get us.
And no, Rick, if you keep on throwing the blue banana at them, they are not going to eat it. You cannot get rid of it.
Oh, hey, look at that. We found our white sword item. It, unfortunately for Fred, is not going to be 4 hearts. So when Rick makes his way up to Death Mountain, he will have himself a Tootums McFlutums.
I'm sure at this point, Fred will hope that he finds a heart container or 2 up here on Death Mountain, only because if he can pick that up, he can actually save himself a trip later when he goes over towards the level 9 area, because there is definitely a recorder spot over there that he can toot his way into.
Yeah, absolutely. Always nice to see the recorder, especially as you said in these second quest flag set or overworld flag set here, because there are many, many more places where that recorder is going to come in handy.
So far, Fred is striking out in Death Mountain, and already has this screen, but he also needs to conjure up one more bomb in order to clear out this whole western side. So we'll see if he can do that.
Well, it's time to see if he can count to 10. And Rick going to go ahead and also pick up his Triforce piece here in level 3. That's going to give him 2. And there's the heart container you were talking about for Fred.
Yeah, still have to see if he has any more blue enemies, because with no bombs, it doesn't matter if you can count to 10. And no blue enemies, so Fred is going to have to skip one of these bombable areas. Especially not getting a bomb drop there, but Rick is going to get his bow, so at least he has the ability to fire arrows. Now he just needs to obtain some arrows. And 5 is enough for the Tutti Flute, and Fred does not actually go up and check level 9 area of Death Mountain.
I mean, there's really no reason to when you don't have the bombs to explore it.
So Rick going ahead and checking around the rest of the forest right now while Fred is trying to acquire a few more bombs. Does get the letter, which with bubbles, well, the red variety, that is a very, very good item to have.
Also, I'm not sure if you caught it really quickly. Rick paused his game for just a split second. That was level 5, not level 7.
And we have Fred somewhere.
Well, Fred's getting a little hands-on here in level 1.
Hey, map always helps us figure out where we are, but he can't do anything because he's bombless.
He is bombless. Also, Rick going into the bright green dungeon here again, which we believe is level 4.
Emulator makes this dungeon very hard on the eyes.
I have to agree with you.
So Fred continues his exploration around vanilla level 1, while Rick finds a square moat room with absolutely nothing coming from it. So he's going to go back in and take the other way, which... yeah, there we go. Which may lead to the end very early. Except you need the recorder.
Toot 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 toot.
So, we're not too far into the seed, but we have seen quite a few dungeons, including this level 6 that Fred is currently in. But one thing that we have been pretty restricted on is keys. We've seen 1 so far.
And that's the one over on Rick's side.
Yeah, so very interesting to see that be one of our major points of being blocked right now. Fred is going to exit level 6, not explore much more of it. Does have a few bombs, so we'll at least be able to use those for exploration in whichever way he sees fit, whether it's exploring a level like level 1, which makes absolute sense.
Which is where we are right now, level 1 indeed. I mean, this absolutely makes the most sense here. You know where it is. It's 2 easy items. Oh, that's right, we can't do anything because we have the thick whiz robes here.
Well, Fred can. He just needs to do a lot of stabbing. Maybe if you stab them enough, you'll tear the sheets that they have over them, and they'll just get mad.
Maybe. Or he really needs a key drop in this room. Like, 100% needs a... oh, there's the key. And both of our runners in the same spot here, so... both Rick and... hey, look, there he is! And Fred getting punished for trying to burn Lord Banana by getting red bubbled.
I think that's a good trade-off.
Not as funny as Rick getting bodied into it by the Octorok.
Now, if Fred wanted, he could actually kill that Pulse Wishroom, but really not necessary, and gets a key out of this, which is really nice considering that enemy set.
Yeah, having it being right there open on the floor, super easy. And Rick doing the same thing, not getting bodied into that one, though.
because, that's the right decision. Going to get the compass so we can see that the Triforce is pretty easily accessible. And we found where the old man is because Rick could not bomb down there.
Yeah, so this is an interesting room for the Triforce to be in here for Rick because he either has to kill the room and grab the Triforce, kill the room and walk out, or burn his one key to explore 2 rooms. I mean, at this point, if I'm Rick, I think I kill this room, grab the Triforce, and come back in. Or do that.
That is not the option that I would really suggest to anyone.
But the bunnies are so cute. You don't want to hug them?
If my bunny looks as demonic as Pole's voice do, no, I would not want to hug them.
Have you seen the official art for Pole's voice, by the way?
Yes.
Oh my
Yes.
gosh, those are creepy. Also, I'd like to point out that Fred just tried to bomb a Zol. Guess what happened?
It split.
It did.
But at least the keys didn't roll up. There's nothing worse than 4 HP keys.
Yeah, no, there definitely is not.
I don't care if it's a blue boomerang, Fred. Pole's voice are still immune to it. Fred having to kill the Zols here, and yeah, it looks like he's gonna have to break out those arrows he got because some of these gels are in the block here in the middle of the room. Yeah, and not only that, but they rolled up in HP as well, so they have at least 3 HP. And then he gets greeted by Gyptos.
So I guess the question would be here, because those are gels and they're rolled on the upper echelon of HP, and we tend to call them thick, does that mean if they roll up on HP they're viscous?
Rick is heading down into that same room, so he's going to have to take care of them, and we'll see how many stabs these... Yeah, they have 3 HP, so still obnoxious to say the least, especially when they're in the middle there like that, and Rick learns the bad news about souls as well.
Also, the one thing we've learned from Fred, he's explored most of the rest of the dungeon. That key that Rick didn't want to spend in the room with the Triforce, that does block the stairway.
Fred's still doing a good job of burning and avoiding that boomerang. Even though he did take a bop, I will trade the half a heart for it. And he's going to learn the location of the Triforce too, but my assumption is, given how much exploration he's done, he will burn the key first.
The other thing with Fred here is he also has the arrows, which is going to make this room a lot easier for him than it was for Rick.
And it's a good thing he actually has the arrows, because the thing he doesn't have is his sword.
Well, he's got more arrows now.
Rick is really gonna wish he burnt that key earlier to make this dungeon so much faster.
Oh, he really is. Oh, he quit.
Oh,
he saved. He's buying the arrows. Oh, he's gonna be so mad.
And he's making an immediate dive back to level 1. And
he's gonna be so mad.
But doesn't that go to your whole mantra that if buying the wooden arrows always leads to the silver arrows, I will buy them every time?
Oh, absolutely, 100%. But once he finds out that all he had to do was burn the key, I would be like, I'm happy to get the silver arrows no matter what happens. It doesn't make me any less angry with it.
Oh, I have no doubt we might see him try to burn the silver arrows or something, and then, he'll be at half a heart and a Keys will kill him before he can grab him, just for, payback or something.
For absolute karmic justice there, you know it. And Savory in chat brings up a good point. Rick just saved to buy the arrows. Does he retry once he realizes it's silvers to save the money?
Depends on where he feels he's at in terms of the race, because it is a little bit of a time consumption, and it looks like he's just going right for the silver. So
that's one of my favorite things, is to get the to either use the boomerang or the arrow, the 2 things that change color when you get the upgrade, and use them as the frame perfect trick and fire it as one color, and it becomes the other color once you get it. I love that little trick there.
Also, Fred told that Manhandla to unlock the Triforce, so luckily it will be there for him when he gets back. But man, that Manhandla is being very obnoxious.
Well, when isn't Manhandla being obnoxious? You know, how many runs die in level 3 because Manhandla decided, oh hey, hi, I want to hang out for a while?
All of yours?
Well, no, I do 2 first.
Okay, so you don't make it to level 3.
Exactly.
So Ruby Boss is not guarding our staircase to anywhere, but Fred is going to have to utilize some silver arrows here because he once again got hit by a red bubble, and he's down to 5 rupees, so he has to be very careful with his exploration, and will level 6 making him pay by saying, nope, you're going to get the shoot room going this way.
No, definitely. And it's always the worst thing, though. You're running around, you think, oh, I'm in a great place, and then, boom, shoot room happens.
And to make matters worse, you got to spend the key.
Well, you're going to have to do some exploring there, because we're either going to have to take that staircase to progress further, or find a ladder somewhere, because we're a little bit on the ladder block side of things here.
Looks like Fred is making a play for the staircase. Or maybe he's just going to grab the Triforce and get out of here. He has a recorder, he can return later, and going to check this left room first, and this might be our item here.
This potentially could be it, although he is in a bit of a conundrum here.
No, he can just
thankfully
keep on going in and out with
the candle.
Yeah.
Or
so...
he's oh, no! I mean, picking up the Triforce here for him also unlocks his sword.
Yeah, it does give him his sword, and he does have the opportunity to just recorder back here. He has bow and silver arrow. He could be under the presumption, hey, you know what? Maybe I just Triforce and go mode this now.
Oh, that was a beautiful manhandle kill from Rick there. Yeah, as you said, ladder might not be required, so I agree with that. Just take the money and run.
So Rick doing a lot of exploration. We already seen Fred do. Fred is going to do some whistling here in the desert. Luckily, the tornado does not come through and cause a dust storm. It just opens up a secret. And 38 rupees. So Fred at least able to use some of his arrows again if he gets to that point. Rick struggling a little bit with that clip, and he is not going to take the staircase. So we'll see if he chooses to burn or possibly burn the key when he picks it up, when he gets over to that point, or whether he elects to save it. He did get hit by the red bubble, so he will not have his sword either.
Now, the one difference here, though, is he has slightly more rupees going into this than Fred did. And Fred has made his way back into what we now know is level 5.
And I do believe the Triforce was actually relatively quick in here, so that's going to be Fred's 4th Triforce when he gets to it. So, yeah, we'll see. He chooses to use the key here. I believe Rick did the same. So I believe this was the path to the Triforce. Or no, this was not the path to the Triforce.
No, this definitely was not, because I don't remember seeing this.
But Fred, once he gets to Triforce, I imagine Fred's mindset right now is just, you know, he's in Schrodinger's Blitz mode, I guess, as the term he uses.
Yeah, Schrodinger's Go mode. You're in Go mode until you're not.
And Rick gonna grab the Triforce here as well in level 6. So Rick actually has the very, 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 very slight advantage over Fred right now. Fred going to be on his way to pick up the Triforce here in 5, but Rick has already gotten it. So Rick with a slight lead just needs to find one more Triforce, and we might see him go into level 9 as well.
Also, I hate the seed right now because the Blugarias rolled 1 HP.
That's the right way for them to roll.
Yeah, Blugarias are obnoxious.
So, here's something interesting. And it looks like Rick is making the play to immediately go back to level 4, and he is going to probably use his key just to go in and search for this Triforce.
It's the right call here. I mean, there's enough bombable walls in level 9 that he can easily, manipulate his way through there, navigate his way through there, without necessarily needing a key to start with. I 100% agree with this play.
Yeah, and Fred did find the bomb wall here, so he is going to be able to pick up his Triforce. At least fires go down to the silver arrows.
That's always good. I like it better when they go down to, well, the wood sword, but... Fortunately for Rick, he does not get another key drop, so level 4 is still off limits right now.
He's electing to retry, though, to gain that key back. Very smart move, very aware of his position, that he does indeed have that save to use. Fred is exploring a little bit around level 5 here just to see if he can potentially find the item. He is going to burn the key that he just got, but the old man is... Well, it's not an old man, it's the bomb upgrade. Very good price, but Fred's still a little too broke.
Yeah, the unfortunate thing is this is the case of using all your silver arrows. And I love the fact that Rick has the completely solid left side of the Triforce. It has nothing going on the right side.
Yeah, Fred's in the same boat.
Yeah, but Rick just paused so we saw his.
Yeah, well, I guess Fred's not in the same boat. He's on the same raft, but still, either way. And it looks like...
You yell at me for making bad jokes.
Yeah, I do, usually. But Rick is going to explore a little bit of Death Mountain here.
Well, eventually this is going to lead him to the recorder. Unfortunately, it's the only thing it's going to lead him to.
Now, there might be a level on the eastern side of Death Mountain. We'll see. We'll see if he actually chooses to explore that far, but if the tech types keep on making him waste bombs, he's not going to have to worry about it.
Yeah, the other thing here is Fred can explore level 4 more than Rick could, because Fred does in fact have not only this recorder to kill this Dig Dogger, but he also has the keys required to go through here. Now, if this item turns out to be the ladder, or more importantly, the any key at this point, I would say that's slightly more important than the ladder here. This could give Fred a huge advantage.
Baby Dig Dogger says, I am not letting you into that block, so Fred's gonna have to try again. Gotta be a little careful here because he doesn't want to sit there and waste all of his bombs trying to get in there. So we'll see if he does the quarter bomb strat again, or if he once again tries for the boomerang.
No, I think you do exactly this. You do bombs once, and then you try and stun it, and then just whack it with silver arrows. That's what I would do.
And it is the item, so what is Fred going to get for his troubles? And we have the right count.
Not worth the bombs.
It's actually not a horrible item, though, knowing some of the enemies that did roll up in HP, like the souls, like the gels that come from souls. So, I mean, I would, like Fred did, I would actually grab that item as well, just because it is additional damage with only having the wood sword.
Oh, absolutely. I'm not saying I don't grab it. I'm just saying it's probably not the item you want to see after wasting all those bombs.
Well, of course it's not the item you want to see. What you want to see is the ladder.
Any key would have been acceptable.
Yeah, that too.
Oh!
No, ladder would have definitely been better.
Oh, this seat is playing with my emotions right now. I love it.
Saber, no, we have not seen any of those 3 levels, so it is now a race to see who can find one of them first.
So, This begs the question. Are we recorder blocked in one of the places we haven't been able to play the recorder yet to find a dungeon? Or are we going to need to dig one of the dungeons we've seen because we're power bracelet or raft blocked?
Fred losing all of his money there to money-making game. It looks like he's going to be retrying to maybe gain a little bit of cash. But to answer your question, level 6, I believe, is the only one that we have to actually dig. Or we do have 5 as well.
Yeah, we have 5. And a big thing here for Rick. Rick, remember that Tektite that knocked Rick out of a bomb?
Yeah.
That bomb he was missing was going to be the recorder.
Yeah, so both Rick and Fred missing a spot on Death Mountain. Rick's is a little bit more costly, though, because that's going to cost him exploration.
Yeah, Fred unfortunately seeing the bad news of 36 rupee bombs, with only 17, doesn't quite have enough to get it. Yeah, unfortunately for Rick, he's forced to save and leave Death Mountain. This could, I mean, right now the recorder isn't required for anything, but we could end up being in that situation where that one missed bomb.
Yeah, now Fred does have a few spots to check before he gets there. Gonna elect to pick up the potion, which is the right call here. You're not guaranteed to get a bunch more hearts, so Rick looks like he's heading back into level 5 to look for this item.
This is an interesting call here, especially because we know that it pretty much has to be up where the staircase drops him, but Rick's going to get the one key to play with here.
Yeah, will be interesting to see what decisions he makes. Fred just coming across another shop up here in the Lost Hill waterfall. And is Rick going to burn the key here, or is he going to eventually take that staircase first?
I mean, I think you do the same strategy that I like to employ in level 9. You go as far as you can without taking staircases or burning keys until you have to make a choice on one of them. Given the situation, if I'm Rick, I take the staircase, or just, say, nope, no thank you.
Yeah, the other thing for Rick there is he had no bombs, so that really limited his exploration. But Fred is going to check out Eastern Death Mountain here. Chooses not to gamble at that point. With 16 rupees, he could have gambled once and seen if he could have upped his money. Sometimes I will do that, but I think the fact that he saved and quit earlier, he is definitely saving it to have the ammunition with the silver arrows.
I mean, absolutely. I mean, there's a magical sword that we're never going to have enough hearts for. But no, I definitely agree here, especially in these second quest enemy flags where red bubbles are prevalent, and there's Rick getting some bombs finally. I 100% agree. Having as much ammunition, as much secondary weapons as you can.
Oh my goodness. The recorder. And this looks like
7.
7.
Yep, because we just came in on the chin. Wow, is this going to come down to... Is this really going to come down to 7?
It's possible. And we do have a staircase here, so possible item.
Of course it
is. And it's a little bit of love.
Okay, just that's more than a little bit of love. That's a lot of love.
At least 7 loves us tonight.
Yeah, but the question is, do we love 7?
It doesn't matter if we love it. It matters if Fred loves it.
So interesting thing here. We've got Rick going back into 5 to dig for items. We've got Fred digging in level 7 as Rick does the bubble dance, which was a very nice little bubbly dance there. And Fred is digging 7 for the Triforce. I mean, it's the only place he's got to dig, so it's not the wrong call. It's just, it's always fun to see 7 being dug.
Both Flammable leveled up in HP.
Yep, they did. And that Landmola just, yeah, we're not going to say what that Landmola just did, but suffice to say, it was not very nice.
Well, we know that the Lamola are definitely not al dente.
They're definitely not that. Well, they might be because they do have a little. Al dente just means with bite, so I would say they are a little al dente. They definitely have a little bite to them.
Oh, well, Fred opted to not do level 7. He's going to get, apparently level 2 instead. Much, much better.
That's until Patrick guards the Triforce. Never mind.
No Patra, just Goma. And no Triforce.
I am disappointed.
And we find our meat block, but it's not going to be required. And Fred maybe think he's living level 8. I would assume just because he tried to bomb over there.
Yeah.
But seeing this, he's going to know. Why? Well, there's a Triforce.
Hello, Triforce.
Fred's just going to grab the Triforce. Now, he may have elected just to dig a few more rooms here because it is a pretty easy item in level 2. But opts to try the Ladderless Seed first.
I mean, I don't blame him here. He's got the recorder. He can easily come back here. Or just
yeah,
go back
that
in.
easily. That easily. So Rick can actually get to level 2 extremely easily because it is not recorder block. He just needs to head up in this direction.
Or
and
you can
wow,
just find the ladder. You know, no big deal.
well, I mean, now Fred is in true blitz mood, so he is going to make his way into level 9 as Rick is going to go back into level 4.
Speaking of level 9, Krim, now that Fred isn't looking for anything, well, he is still looking for a couple of things, and what are those going to be?
Well, I don't know if you know this, but that red ring belonged to Zelda, and Zelda's mad. So Zelda's going to be screaming very, 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 very loudly. In fact, so loudly that we'll be able to hear Zelda from any adjacent room, north, east, south, or west, as Fred does pick up said jewelry. So when you hear, you'll know that Zelda is in an adjacent room. The second thing that Fred will be looking for is a shutter door that does not open once clearing out all the enemies. And what that means is that, well, Ganon is trapped behind there, and the only way to open that shutter door is to indeed skewer Zelda with a silver arrow.
While doing that, of course, returning the red ring that she threw into the water.
Yeah. So, with the colors that Zelda becomes, does the silver arrows work on her because she's become a vampire?
I mean, I would assume the silver arrows work on her because it's a pointed arrow. Also, we have a One Direction level 9.
Don't you even dare.
Don't I even dare what?
I know where you can go with that, and you better not.
Where exactly was I going to go with that, Mr. Abbott?
A certain boy band.
Would I do that?
Yes, you would. So Fred is exploring basically a few degrees from blackout here. But yeah, we're just going to guess. I mean, at least we have his audio now so we can listen, but we're going to guess to see if he is actually seeing anything, because we can't.
What I can see is bubbles and a red mummy.
Well, that shutter door did open, so we know that Ganon wasn't behind there. Fred does have two keys right now, so my guess is that he'll be directing his path away from most key doors, if at all possible.
I hear Zelda. I see Zelda. Oh, look at that. Ladder's gonna be needed.
Oh my goodness. Wow. I mean, you can fight Zelda, but I think manipulating the Triforce drop to be able to clip down onto it would be so incredibly difficult
It
that...
is. I've tried it. It's an absolute pain.
Now, luckily Fred did have the red ring, so the hug from Zelda didn't do much, and is able to get Zelda into a stun lock. Very nice kill there. So now that little thing that Fred was looking for where the shut door didn't open, now it will immediately open as soon as he enters. And Rick in a little bit of trouble because he doesn't have Recorder. He's still digging level 4 for the item.
Yeah, that's the unfortunate part, is that one bomb that he missed with the Recorder is putting him in a world of hurt here.
And it looks like Fred is still abandoning using any keys if at all possible. He is searching for any staircases or anything that he may be able to use before burning a key somewhere.
Well, he only has the one key left, so I don't blame him trying to save that key for as late as he possibly can.
Well, we do have a diamond staircase here, so we'll see if this takes us to any important part of the level. And it looks like Rick is heading back up into Death Mountain. This is definitely
the
call
right
he needs
play
to make.
I mean, because it's going to give him A, the Recorder, and B, both levels 7 and 2 are up here. 2 being the operative one he wants to find, because it's going to have not only the 5th Triforce piece very easily accessible, but also the all-important ladder. I mean, if Rick jumps right into level 2, he's not out of this, because Ganon or Zelda was a super easy find, and level 9 could be very mazy. Or, no, never mind, there's no enemy. There's no enemies in that one. I got a little excited.
So Rick does pick up his Recorder, which can be a good thing. And he is going to continue exploring Death Mountain, which is what he needed to do. My fear of one thing that Rick might have done is immediately up aid and went back to forward to look for that item. But Fred finds the Recorder, or the compass, and Zelda is not too far away, or Ganon's not too far away. So
well, the thing is going to be getting there.
I guarantee that that lever there told you where the kidnap was located.
Oh, probably.
And
probably.
We found her, or him.
It.
And Fred,
giving Ganon the balloon and a crown.
Fred finishing with an official SRL time of 47:27. Get your GGs out, everyone.
Wait, did you just say 47 minutes?
Yes. In fact, if you look at Fred's timer, he finished 1/100th of a second below that.
That's bananas.
No, just the blue.
I pluralized it. I didn't specify color. I just said bananas. You're the one making this about the blue Nana and the yellow Nana. You're the one doing all that.
So the question is, does Fred actually lose because he didn't succeed in fulfilling his little names? Because he didn't burn all the bananas.
No, he did not. I mean, you are technically a tournament admin, so I believe that decision falls into your lap.
No, he picked up the blue one. He's totally fine.
Snap decision there, huh?
It wasn't even a decision.
No, absolutely not. And Rick's still making his way around, trying to figure out where exactly to go. Looks like he's heading towards where Vanilla Level 2 would be in first quest, or Level 3 in second quest. Yes, they are all flip-flopped around.
So we are also waiting to see if Fred can get in here. So just give us a minute on that, as Rick is going to continue to explore the overworld, opting to stick down here instead of heading back up to Death Mountain. So I would imagine he's also going to visit level 4.
And then be extremely disappointed when he gets the red candle.
Yeah, I mean, about the only thing that Rick did for us, he did show us a large secret, and while we were positive in all of our secret rolls, 15, 38, and 122.
And I'm not sure if you heard that, Krim, but I know I did. That was everybody's favorite Discord sound of somebody entering a chat room, which means we've got ourselves a friend.
Good evening.
How are you doing, sir?
Finally catching my breath there.
All right, so we need to have a discussion really quick here, you and I.
Do we?
Yes, we do, because you promised us something on your file names, and you didn't fulfill that promise.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You said you were going to burn all of the bananas, and you did not.
Really?
Well,
Yes.
I mean, technically he did, because the blue banana is not really a banana, so he burned the one. And wow, Rick finds level 8.
Recorder
Not the
required
level
for
that he
2
wants
levels.
to find.
No, he definitely wants to find 2. But yeah, no, you promised you would burn all the bananas, and you didn't burn all the bananas. I'm disappointed.
If my stream hasn't been cut, I am currently burning this blue banana repeatedly as we speak. If that makes you feel better.
I just wanted to make sure that you fulfilled your promise.
Well, it's kind of hard when you don't have a candle in the first place to burn it. I mean, I threw it through the fire at the end. Doesn't that count?
Ish.
I think the best part about that is that you crowned Ganon with it. But, pretty fast seed here. Given everything, given that you ran into the bomb issue, which sort of drove you from Death Mountain, which could have expedited things quite a bit. But overall, what do you think of that seed?
I mean, I think it turned out to be basically a right order seed. The fact that I was able to dig level 3, get heart bow and Triforce swordless, and I think even bubbled, turned out to be a really lucky find there in the very early going there. Convinced me to buy the arrows just in case I needed them, and well, level 1 with that 1 red bubble room made me need them quite a bit. But then getting silvers and 1 there, basically at that point it was a blitz seed where ladder was going to be incredibly nice to find if it was there. I was trying to go with the assumption it wouldn't be needed, but I was willing to try to dig a few extra rooms in each dungeon to try to find where it was going to be. And then when I discovered, I was like, okay, I've got these 5 dungeons, let me get the 5 of them done, go to 9, be good to go, and then discover the nice ladder block there in level 4. So after that, it was just a case of, okay, just keep exploring, hoping it wasn't going to be in the top half of 5, and I abandoned it, and found 7 and 2 up there on the eastern side of Death Mountain, and, was going to dig 7 further, and then said, you know what, maybe there's another level I can find, and that's where level 2 was.
So your decision to go back into level 2 for the ladder, definitely a good decision because level 2 doesn't really have a lot of rooms to explore, but no doubt that at a point you had to be thinking, I have my 5 Triforces, let me just, go blitz 9. When you saw the room that Zelda was in, how happy were you that you went back into 2?
Oh, I happened to have played a seed earlier today where that exact same situation came up. I mean, technically, I know what I could have done in that room to try to beat Ganon, but that would have been completely evil. So, ended up being a very good decision. I don't know, it's possible that we could have gotten into that room maybe from one of the sides. I obviously didn't check that, but yeah, definitely a good thing we had the ladder there.
Yeah, having had to do that fight coming in from the bottom in that moat river, in that double river room, that is not a fun Triforce to try and clip to.
No, although I think the top's a little worse, only because on the top you can't get the stun lock. Because typically the stun lock you're going to get in the bottom corner. So at least from the bottom you can possibly get the stun lock to get the fight going, but you're in trouble at the end of the fight because you can't kill Ganon.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
evil.
that stun lock is very similar to using the ladder when Ganon's in the NSU room and staying on the bottom there. It's a very similar stun lock to that. It's
Oh yeah.
doable, it's a pain, and then of course you have to play the how do I clip to get this game.
Oh yeah. No, it's a pain in the bottom. So like, as I said, really happy I was able to get the ladder out of 2 there, and then be able to run the rest of the. At that point, get the other thing too was I had 6 hearts, I think, at that point, 5 or 6 hearts, and going into level 9 with 5 or 6 hearts, I don't care what enemy said it is, that's a recipe for disaster. So if knowing the Red Ring was on the coast, if I can find the ladder, that then also quadruples my defense, makes me feel more comfortable running through 9.
Yeah, definitely a very friendly seed, nonetheless. So, I'm sure that you're excited to get to do these flags one more time. This time against Zep. Now, I know you're going to go all PC on us, but what's your feeling on facing Zeb?
I have seen Zeb defeat the likes of Unos. I have seen Zeb defeat the likes of many people to even getting into this tournament, getting to the bracket phase in the first place. Zeb is incredibly good. So, yes, technically I'm going to go PC, but it's true with any person in this tournament. The flags can, anything can happen to get one person going with the other, especially with the fact that, Silvers could be somewhere, Bow could be somewhere. You might need a power bracelet that you have to dig out of the level, or Bow could be deep in 7. Not that I know anyone who would be believe that was possible, but regardless of which, you can easily swing either way. It's going to hopefully be a fun match to watch when we get to that point. So I'm looking forward to getting together with Zeb here reasonably soon, and hopefully put on another good show for everyone.
And unfortunately for Rick, the item in 5 is ladder blocked.
Oh.
I mean, the only unfortunate thing is how much of 5 he's dug for it, but I mean, it's not an item that he absolutely needs, especially because he's considerably better with keys now. So, really, yeah, it's just a lot of hemorrhaging time at this point. He may even go back into level 4 because he did not return there once getting his recorder. So, we'll have to see.
Right, but the one thing that he does know about level 4 is he's realized it's a bomb upgrade, so he's going to go pick that up. One thing he knows about level 4 is it's only going to give him an item. It's not going to give him the Triforce because he knows the Triforce is ladder blocking for.
Right, but given that he does need that 5th Triforce, he may hope that level 4 has a ladder and that he can just grab that. But he's instead whistling somewhere else.
Not a clue. Whistling to 1.
I'm gonna check out this recorder spot here. We'll see how long it takes him to have the recorder lead him up to Death Mountain. Now he does have a few screens left on Eastern Death Mountain to explore, so maybe where he is heading at this point. I do believe he actually has most of the rest of the overworld already explored.
Yeah, well, he can't do the 2 ladder spots up here, so yeah, he's definitely going to be, looks like he's going to be screen wrapping his way over, and he is making the right decision to come up here. We know this is going to lead him to both levels 7 and 2.
Now, the thing for Rick is, how long is he going to dig level 7 before going to level 2?
I mean, the question here is more of, do you want to dig level 7 deep before you check the one other screen up here that could potentially have something, or you just want to go all in on 7? I mean, I'm definitely of the philosophy of, I'm here, I might as well dig it a little bit.
Yeah, especially knowing that you still have Raft out there, you still have Ladder out there, you still have Power Bracelet out there. That's 11 possible spots on the overworld yet that you would have to be able to explore with one of those 3 items. Or with any of those 3 items, you can get to some of those. But so it may register to him, hey, that may open up additional spots for me, so dig for the item. Maybe I'll find the Triforce and ladder won't be needed, something like that. So just want to give a nice friendly reminder that immediately, well, not immediately following this race, but at 11:30, we do have another race coming up for you guys here on Speed Gaming. And that is, I believe, our Slitic Paratrooper race.
You are 100% correct. It is Slitic Paratrooper. Also, Fred, we have to have another discussion here.
I didn't do it.
Well, this one actually is on you because the bomb upgrades were both in levels 5 and 7.
Minor details. I was considering remodeling the levels and decided to leave them there alone for a little bit. I thought they fit the decor a little bit nicer.
Fair enough.
I don't know if anything could have fit that decor in level 9.
Yeah.
I might have stuck a thief or 2 in the walls there. That would have worked out nicely.
Yeah, potentially, but Rick is leaving 7 after getting bodied by the Gliok, and he is going to, happily for him, find himself some level 2.
So we'll see if Rick... Yes, Rick is going to head down, so he's going to get his ladder before the Triforce, so he's not going to have to worry about that gamble. Well, we'll see if he continues to head down.
Yeah, because you had to bomb out of the Goma room.
He bombed out of the meat block room, but either way.
But this will be a nice little dandy of a room for him.
Yeah, able to get the ladder now. He's just gonna save and go right to level 4 to pick up the Triforce.
He knows where it is.
Yeah, not a bad decision, and it's also okay because it puts him on the side of Hyrule that he needs to be on to get to level 9 anyway. So he can grab the Triforce out of 4, pick up the red ring on his way up to level 9, and then enter 9. So not a bad routing decision at all.
Yeah, no, not at all. I mean, with all the information he has, this is a very good choice there.
And Rick doesn't even have to kill or deal with that Dig Dogger that hated Fred so much.
Yeah, that Dig Dogger did not like our friend Fred.
Yeah, what can I say? Apparently, he doesn't like video game music.
Well, I mean, it's your randomizer. Can't you just randomize it to play a different tune that it might like?
You'd think that. Actually, I've contemplated trying to make a change like that.
I would be all down for the recorder playing different random tunes.
Interesting ideas that he gets.
I mean, it's not like we don't already have games where you have different songs that do things. So you definitely could just put different little tunes in. I would love the recorder to play like a Mambo's Mambo or something like that.
You may hear me furiously scribbling in my notebook right now.
I'm surprised you don't already have that documented.
Also, Fred, you're being called out in chat by one Crystal Saver who wants plus or minus 8 HP enemies and a flag for max HP enemies.
If people really want that madness, that's doable.
Well, okay, let's not lump everybody of people in here with Crystal Saver because Crystal Saver enjoys madness. How many games has he completed blindfolded? Exactly. He likes madness. The rest of us, we're just sort of commenting. We're like, yeah, it's your toy. Play with it how you see fit.
So I vote if you do that, Fred, you create a preset just for Saver and Adigenos and Zarnax, and just call it dot note.
Yes. Oh,
And
could get in from the bottom.
yeah, much quicker route to Zelda for Rick.
However, the fight is not going Rick's way. There we go. Now we got ourselves a sunlock.
Also, the Gorilla climbing the ladder to be able to stab Zelda in the neck is kind of funny.
Oh, that's hilarious. That looks so good.
I'm too short.
I need to get up there. One more wrong.
So, if I remember correctly, Ganon actually wasn't too far from where Rick currently is. It's just a matter of getting over to that room, which I believe
correctly,
needed to take the staircase too.
If I also remember correctly, it was only a one-way door.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if there was another way of getting into that room that had that one-way door. Possibly right here?
This one right here, actually.
Yeah. So,
wow, Rick with a bananas fast level 9.
Yeah, absolutely. So Rick does finish. Official SRL time of 1:06:05. Get your GGs out, everyone.
But yeah, what was that? An all of 3-minute level 9? The level 9 we all dream about?
Yeah, definitely had like perfect routing through there. Didn't have to take all the detours Fred did. But I guess Fred likes detours. He likes the left turns at Albuquerque. So we'll go ahead and see if Rick wants to join us, and well, apparently he does because he is here. Good game, Rick.
Thank you, GG to Fred.
Good game, sir.
All right, Rick, I got to get this out of the way right now. So, how did your plan of burning the blue banana go for you there, huh?
Well, that went according to plan. The burning of the red banana went according to plan as well.
Oh, you mean the getting bopped into the blue banana from the Octorok?
He just meant he was going to pick it up regardless.
Yeah, but I don't think getting bopped into it was part of the plan.
You say potato, I say...
So, Rick, just to give you an idea of how close this race actually was, you actually had your fourth Triforce before Fred did. The big difference was how long it took you to get back up to Death Mountain.
Why was 2 up on Death Mountain? Why was 2? Why can't anything drop bombs when you need them to? Because otherwise, I would have searched off the entire Death Mountain area. Would have had the recorder. Would have gotten up to that area. Maybe would have said no to 7 sooner. But you know, it's just that level 2. Why did it have to be there?
Yeah, it's there because that's how this game works. You know that.
Yeah, I know how the seed works, but so I'm guessing Fred got to 2 a lot sooner, got the ladder, and was able to make his way to 9.
Well, Fred actually ran into the same issue you did. He ran out of his bomb at A4 rather than what you did on the recorder screen. But since he ran out of bombs, he also elected to save and quit from Death Mountain, and the big difference was you went back to 5 and 4 trying to look for the item. Fred at least had the recorder, so he was able to find the red candle in level 4 underneath that dig dogger.
Oh yeah, and I took all the time trying to figure out what was underneath that. I knew I gave up a lot of time in that 4. Same thing with that 5 to find out that the item was indeed ladder blocked.
Yeah, so really that was the only difference. I mean, very, very well played seed. And turn 9 was like lightning fast.
Yeah, from your final split there, you did that in just about little over 3 minutes. I was about 7 minutes or 6.5 minutes to the end there. I explored almost half a 9. You just nailed it.
So what had you going back up to Death Mountain?
At that point, trying to find the rest of the dungeons. I'd gotten Triforces out of, it looks like, looking at my notes here,
1356.
like TGE said, thank you, 1356. I did not, I couldn't get it out of 4. I was trying to do that, and so then I went up to Northeast, bombed it, hit Blue Ring, and then went over to hit the rest of Dead Mountain, hoping that at that point that I was going to find something and not have to run around like down to the Dead Woods or something like that, or one of the couple of spots I orphaned.
Yeah, I think I probably should have prioritized searching for another dungeon, but I had that feeling that one of those 2 dungeons that I had already known the whereabouts was and didn't pull the item out of was going to have the item I needed to at least get me to 9, and, well, it didn't.
And if the item had been in 5 there, you'd be the victor right now, most likelihood, because I had that option on the table of going back into there, and I instead went for the overworld stuff, and you would have had me there.
Oh, GG, you've, I can't seem to beat you in a tournament race. I'm 0-4 now. I've got to figure out what I need to do when we meet up for round 5, what I need to do to get that monkey off my back.
You're going to get it. I mean, you beat me pretty regularly, I feel like, in the nightly races if we race against each other. I feel like it's a lot closer to 50-50, so it's just a case of just having things happen to align. You're an incredibly good player. We've seen you grow a ton, throughout the years here, and anyone who plays against you has a significant opponent to be playing against. So, this seed just ended up being a lucky turn of finding where the ladder was, so that way we could fight Ganon with a reasonable, amount of a reasonable amount there. And in your case, it didn't. You didn't get that a little bit earlier. And if you gotten that a little bit earlier, it would have been a very different ballgame.
This, amongst the other races I ended up losing in this tournament, just showing me that I really need to start learning how to force 10 counts a little more regularly, because that has been a downfall in all 3 of my tournament losses.
Yeah, it's tough. I understand the concept of it, except I can't get past the number 2 before I reset to 0 for some weird reason.
Yeah, hugging people tends to make you forget how to count. So, I mean, as I said, GG to both of you. It was definitely an entertaining race. I absolutely enjoyed calling it, even if it was with TGE tonight. So thank you both for the race. And just a reminder to everyone out there, if you don't already follow Fred and Rick for some reason, which there shouldn't be a reason, go follow both of them, because I sometimes say this, but like for me, I know it's not true, but these 2 do far beyond just Z1 Randomizer. So they're definitely worth a follow, even if you want to watch some other stuff. So definitely check that out.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. Like, definitely go give these 2 a follow. I mean, you've already said everything, every superlative I would say, so.
Well, does my co-commentator or either of our runners have any final thoughts before we sign off for 15 minutes here on Speed Gaming?
I would say that
Watch the next race.
That.
Completely agree. This next race is going to be a really, really good race. Stay tuned, because this is going to be another blast of a race to watch. And both of the racers in this race are incredibly good, and this easily is going to come down to the last couple of seconds.
Absolutely. Well, in that case, I'm going to go get cozy and relax to watch this next race, because I'll definitely be watching it. But I just want to say once again, be sure to give both Fred and Rick follow. Also, I can't believe I'm saying this, but follow our my co-commentator the Greenleaf Effect, as well as our tracker behind the scenes, Dark Falls. That is Dark FAIZ _. Definitely give every one of them a follow because, well, they're all awesome. I want to thank them all. I want to thank Speed Gaming again for putting this on, as well as our next race. And I guess, TG, you can send us out.
I will, and don't let him fool you. He's not going to sit there and advertise himself, but please go ahead and give Crimson Avix a follow as well. If for nothing else, than the endless olive grind of Battle of Olympus. Definitely worth the watch there. But with that, everybody, thank you all very much for watching. Stay tuned here in about 15 minutes on Speed Gaming for another Zelda 1 randomizer race here, as we mentioned, between Slitic and Paratroopa. And with that, on behalf of both of our runners, AdirondackRick and fcoughlin, our tracker, Dark Falls, my co-commentator, Crimson Avix, I am the Greenleaf Effect, reminding everybody to, of course, keep hailing.
Or burn it.